And if you're coming down Bob Little Road, you will not make it to 14th Street, as this is still an ongoing and very dangerous situation. More crews are getting up on scene right now. I told you the Bay County Sheriff's Office SWAT team, Panama City Police SWAT team, as well as Springfield Police are all on scene to try and get this situation resolved as quickly and safely as possible. They're still looking for one man, Jason Kenneth Jones. He's 41, about 6 feet tall, dark hair, camo pants. If you see him in this fountain area, you're asked to call 911 immediately, as he is considered armed and dangerous after killing multiple people tonight and possibly injuring another. All of it started right here on Suncrest Drive. There's a home behind me that was fully engulfed and a complete loss. But to give more of an update on the efforts, I have Sheriff Tommy Ford here, who just got on scene about 10 minutes ago. And Sheriff, just tell me what's going on today. Now, guys, you may not be able to see it, but there are deputies still surrounding a home on Davies Drive down the street. We've been asked to stay about 1.5 miles away just due to the safety of this situation. One woman is dead tonight after a shooting in Springfield. She was shot 4 times. Look at this, Jerry and Amy. This is a 20-foot tree behind me. They're brand new trees that the county got this year after last year's were damaged.
What do you think of this idea of just using underwear to make a top?
Okay, we are a family station here, Gallagher. I need you to clothe. I'm on Woodshire Drive, right off Thompson Road here in Santa Rosa Beach, and this home behind me looks like many homes in this area after Wednesday's fire. While no lives were lost, I spoke with those who protect and serve, and they say any level of loss is hard to deal with.
As I got closer and seen the size of the column, I went ahead and called for more tractors.
Once it jumped 98, I knew we were going to be here for the long haul.
Families trying to salvage what's left after the Musset Bayou fire completely destroyed their homes.
Anytime there's a fire, you pride yourself as a firefighter that look what we saved. And to see that many houses destroyed is just hard.
We tried everything that we could and still fell a little short in my book.
Even though the fire is still raging on, those on the front lines are already feeling the mental and emotional effects.
It hits home. This is home for me. I work in Walton County, and you know, you want to try to do everything you can to protect the citizens. That's our job.
We dearly love our community and the people that we serve and protect. So when they hurt, we hurt.
Both men say they did all they could to prevent the devastation, but lives were saved, and that's a win.
There were no deaths, there was no injuries to report. And that's huge, because at the end of the day, you live another chance to fight.
And even though they're also feeling pain, they know the job is far from over.
And we have a job to do. No matter what happens, we have to keep moving on. We're still running fires. There's fires in the county, even with this one going. So you always have to keep your head on the swivel and move forward.
Now, I spoke with many homeowners here today, and they say they're just trying to figure out what to do next. Both Bradley and Sanchez say their agencies will be here to help them along the way.
Who expects to get a phone call that their sister's been shot in the middle of the road?
Carl Tucker and his wife were at home in North Georgia Wednesday evening when an old friend contacted them.
He told us that he had heard, I think, from DeWanna's roommate that DeWanna had been shot in the middle of the road. My wife just collapsed crying. And my first thought was, I need to find out. I need to verify this stuff. So I contacted the Bay County Sheriff's Office.
Tucker came in contact with Lieutenant Jeremy Mathis.
It was agonizing when he contacted me back. He told me that it was her. We were so upset. I said, I'm going to send you more photos. I want to make sure beyond the shadow of a doubt.
It's not an easy task to do, but it's the right thing to do for the family.
The two stayed in contact every step of the way.
We was in turmoil the entire time. That Lieutenant Mathis, the Bay County Sheriff's Office, that was absolutely phenomenal. Each time I either texted or called him, got back with me very quickly.
The family knowing what's going on is also one of the most important aspects of these cases, just because I couldn't imagine this happening to my loved one and somebody not telling me what's going on.
Now that the suspected killer is in custody, Tucker says they can focus on honoring the life of his sister.
DeWanna was a phenomenal person. She had an electric personality and a powerful presence. If she walked in the room, she took over the room. And if she loved you with all her heart.
In Bay County, Kayla Tucker, News 13, Panhandle Strong.
I didn't want to do anything other than to be a Navy diver.
Chief Navy diver Ryan Kreider is going on 13 years in his career, but his father William says he never expected his son to make this move.
And then he decided to go to college in Portland, Oregon. He went out there and found out what it was like living on his own at 18. And then he called one day and says, "Does the Navy feed you?"
William served 29 years in the Navy. He was also a diver.
A friend of mine asked if I wanted to go diving with him. Never dove before. Fell in love with it, eventually went to dive school and made a career out of it.
18 years into his career, he was pinned Master Diver. Now 19 years later, his son is on the same level.
He made it on December 7th, 2000, and I made it, which was a Friday, and I made it on December 6th, 2019.
As sons do, Ryan played a bit of a joke on his dad when delivering the news.
I had my pen holding it for luck, and he came in and looked and wrote down, it's like, "I need to give this back to you." And I was like, "Okay." And he's like, "So you can pin me later."
The two are now in the history books and taking each step together.
So he's actually been there for me and pinned me for each level as second-class diver, first-class diver, and now master diver.
While following in his father's footsteps wasn't always the plan, the newest master diver says he wouldn't have gotten here without him.
It's been my biggest support throughout this whole thing in my naval career, so it was a beautiful moment to be able to go to him and let him know that I made master diver.
At Naval Support Activity Panama City, Kayla Tucker, News 13, Panhandle Strong.
A bowl of stool, a nice cherry cheesecake, and a cold drink to wash it all down. Sounds like some great items for a dinner menu. But imagine if it all ends up thrown across the room. That's exactly what the comedian Gallagher is known for. News 13's Kayla Tucker caught up with a pro tonight ahead of his show in Destin and has more on his journey through comedy.
It's not a slicer, it's not a dicer, it's not a chopper and a hopper. What in the hell could it possibly be? It is sledge-o-matic!
He was the guy that just did something that everyone was scared to do.
We gotta go. We gotta go see Gallagher. We gotta go see Gallagher.
After more than 40 years on stage, Leo Anthony Gallagher Jr., better known as just Gallagher, is on his final tour, The Last Smash.
Well, look at me. How long do you think I could last?
The 73-year-old prop comic paid a visit to the Panhandle on Friday night to the Village Door Music Hall.
I do a 3-hour show because I do longer pieces, fewer of them, stay on a topic like that. Do a song, do a poem, do a piece.
He says it's all about how you finish the show that matters.
Then you have to have a finish. You have to have a closer. Boom! Nobody's got a closer like me.
That closer he came up with while watching TV.
I was just watching a Vegematic commercial and I said they ought to call it Sledge-o-matic. So if it didn't rhyme, I wouldn't even have a career.
That career is still continuing with new foods on the menu to smash each time.
4,000 times. I paid $250. That's $1 million in food I've smashed. I could retire with $1 million in the bank. Instead, I smacked it.
And as he looks to finish his time in front of a crowd, Gallagher is switching to a position behind the scenes.
Oh, I've got 4 big projects. I've got some reality shows, a sitcom, and a movie. And I have to get out to Hollywood and get those things happening. So I'm going to turn into an executive producer.
With a degree in chemical engineering, he says being a comedian was something he just felt the world needed.
There were so many scientists and so few good comics that I ought to fill in.
In Destin, Kayla Tucker, News 13, Panhandle Strong.